right, guys, welcome back. I've got another unboxing to do. This channel really wasn't gonna be intended to be an unboxing channel. I want to do a couple things with it. I want to do interviews. I want to do unboxings. I want to do deck reviews, deck history moments, things like that, as well as think outside of skateboarding, right? I have a lot of interests. Training for a triathlon. I put it on camera now, so it's gonna happen now, right? I'm training for a triathlon. Into skateboarding. I'm a process operator. I want to talk about stuff like that. So this channel is going to be a wide variety of things just because I'm a man of many interests, right? But in the meantime, right now, I've got a lot of skateboarding stuff that I want to knock out. So that's going to be the bulk of the channel right now. But what you just watched was something that kind of confused me. This was put out back in August of this year, and it was at the time, I didn't know what it was, but it's a collaboration between Santa Cruz Skateboards and Malbon Golf Streetwear, right? That was Emmanuel Guzman doing an ollie, what seems to be an ollie, over a golf cart with the waiting Jeff Kendall. And I really couldn't tell who the passenger in the golf cart was, but that's besides the fact, right? So Santa Cruz and the guys at NHS and the licensing manager, Paul Merrill, who I consider a close personal friend. I met him 2 summers ago. And we keep in contact, so every time I have some questions about the brand or things that are coming up, I'll shoot him a text or I'll message him on Instagram and he'll get back to me and stuff. So Malbon is a golf company that started with Stephen and Erica Malbon in California in 2017. And it's not just a golf brand. It's they call themselves a lifestyle brand, not really a boutique brand or anything like that. It's a lifestyle brand. And, you know, I'm a sucker for marketing, right? You can ask anybody. If I see something cool on a commercial, on a reel or something like that, I'm going to go after it. This is a Malbon golf hat, and I don't golf, right? So I just thought I like the look of the hat. It's really cool. So it got me, and it's a lifestyle brand, right? I really debated whether to buy it or not because I don't golf, and I have a real big hang up with stuff like that. I don't want to buy stuff that isn't really representative of me, but it's a lifestyle brand. Their marketing got me. And why not, right? So it's a pretty slick hat. So they did this collaboration with Santa Cruz Skateboards, and they released a whole lot of items, right? They've got t-shirts, socks, golf shorts, golf like rain jacket gear, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. The thing about Malbon is, and depending on how you look at it, it's a bit pricey. If you go to their website and look at some of the price, I went when the collab dropped to see what the stuff was, and I'm not gonna lie, I had sticker shock with some of the prices of the things, but I sucked it up, bought a hat. I actually went back to go get a t-shirt, and t-shirts in my size are out. A lot of the stuff sold out really fast. So it was, if you go to the comment section on their Instagram, Santa Cruz and Malbon's, it really took off. People really appreciated the brand. And then you had the comments about the prices. Yeah, so I'm just glad to know I wasn't the only one that had sticker shock with the things. But before we go into what's in this box, and I'm pretty sure you have an idea of what is in the box.
What's in the box?
I got a message from my son back in August when the collab dropped. Hey, my son was in tech school at the time. My son's in the Air Force, and he's going through tech school right now. Actually just finished. But he sent me a message or called me. I can't remember what it was. And like, hey, you're going to be getting a skateboard. I ordered this skateboard, this collab. He really wasn't sure what it was, but he's a deck head, and he likes to DECK, right? Deck head. And he likes to collect things as well as I do. He's really into art. He's an artsy fartsy type of guy, and he just appreciates the art of 80s skate graphics, right? So he saw this thing, went and got it. I saw it, debated. I did not get it, so I'm glad he did, and he wanted me to do an unboxing video of it. But before we go any further, before I open this box, I kind of want to take a couple seconds to talk about Malbon, the brand. Right, so like I said, it was founded by Steve and Erica Malbon in California in 2017. He's an avid golfer. If the name's if it rings familiar, he's actually the founder of the magazine Frank 151, or actually was a magazine. It actually started off as a pocket quarterly, as like a little book this big that could fit in your pocket in Atlanta in 1999, pre-internet, right? So I guess you could call him a creative before the term creative got done. He designed it, or actually started Frank 151 with his brother, and they wanted it for underground artists, music, sports and things like that going on in the Atlanta area and to keep people informed on what's going on with the trends and whatnot. And it just blew up, right? I think Frank 151 just did an interview with Jim Phillips after the release of his Art and Life movie that came out last week. So they're still around. They're still doing their thing. And now Steven and Erica are taking that essence from Frank 151 and using it to help inspire their designs from Malbon. So Malbon is actually, like I said, it's a unique brand when it's coming to golfing, right? They're not just a golf company. They don't just make street clothes or golf clothes. They make street clothes as well. They're actually collaborating on the two, making street clothes, golf clothes. And it's actually shaking the tree on the PGA Tour, right? I've got an interview here with Jason Day, who's a Malbon sponsored athlete. I'm going to play that for you here for a second. And then just kind of, you can hear what the take is from the tour stuffy guys of golf and how they're, I don't want to say embracing the brand, but how they're kind of becoming aware of the brand. So check this out.
There's good and bad, obviously, when you're trying to shake the tree a little bit. It's not even necessarily shaking the tree. You're just trying to come through with a different style and a different way to wear some gear. And I guess Malbon, they know how to market very, very well, and they have a lot of unique styles, which is fantastic. I think, you know, some of the styles is definitely, you either love it or hate it, and that's okay because they have golf gear and they have streetwear, and then they have options, which is nice. I mean, obviously, when I was playing at Pebble this year, I felt like I stopped the whole range walking down there in sweat. So maybe that's probably not going to come back out again. But it was nice to give it a shot to see how it came out. I think some people liked it, some people hated it. So.
And that was the mount. I remember at Augusta last year, obviously you had to tone it back down, and they asked you to take change shirts there. Are you going to tone it down this year, or kind of what's the plan going in for the scripting?
So we have to get clearance on the scripting this year. So they've, to Malbon's credit, they've got some bold stuff, but I'm not sure if it'll pass. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they'll say yes. If not, then we'll be going back to the drawing board and trying to come up with something different.
Okay, so they are doing what they said they wanted to do, right? They want, Steven loves golf, right? And I'm going to show you how much, like, he loves golf, right? Not just to start a brand, but it goes even further than that. So, you know, I kind of scratched my head at the thought, where's this collaboration come from, right? Because you never hear, at least from the guys I know, talking about golfing and skateboarding. You don't seem like the two will mix. But come to find out, there's a lot of skaters, professional skaters that golf. I was watching the 9 Club a couple of weeks ago, and Sal Barbier was on there. And, you know, if you've ever watched a 9 Club episode, they go for an hour to a couple of hours, right? Which that isn't a bad thing, right? So especially when they got a guest on who just loves to spit information out. And Sal was one of those guys. And as they get further, and I didn't know this at the time, as they get further into the interview, come to find out, Sal did a collaboration with Malbon as well with his Sal 23 skate shoe. He actually helped design a Sal 23 golf shoe, right? Which is actually very cool. And I'm gonna play a couple of snippets from that 9 Club interview that just kind of talks about this and talks about golfing in general. And Jerron Wilson kind of jumps in there as well and gives his take. So here, I'm gonna play this for you guys real quick. It's about 2 to 3 minutes. Check it out. I'll be right back.
All right. I think it's like better left when you don't alter it, you know.
Well, when you get into like a Malbon, that you have like a collab with them, is that like from the ground up almost too, or is
yeah,
that
because
like...
that's a different last and a different soul, and then it's just like it has enough of the characteristics where you know that it's like inspired by that.
Yeah,
but it's like it's just a golf version.
Sure.
So this is their colorway. And that probably has to do with that. Isn't Masters? Jerron's a golf pro, right?
No, I'm not.
Masters. Color.
I heard. Hey, hearing you guys going back and forth the other night at the golf.
He loves to bring it. He loves it. He loves the competition.
I like
he loves
golf.
to talk shit.
I like golf because I get to talk smack, and you can't go anywhere. You're stuck with me for 9 or 18 holes.
Yes.
So I don't care because everyone's got a bad score anyway. So I'm like, yeah, okay, let me get in this guy's head.
So it seems a lot of skateboarders have gotten into golf. And it seems very What's how did you get into it, and do you see similarities in there to skating?
What's your handicap?
I don't see similarities in there to skating. I mean, I don't. When people use that analogy, it's like I see similarities in, like, you know, if you take a BMX bike out to a jump and you jump it, I see some similarities because it's like scary as hell, you know, and it's like, damn, dude, it's gnarly, and it kind of has the same feeling. And, you know, the way I got into it late purposely because we all used to live in mid-Wilshire, and we called it Skate Campus, right? And that's when Huff lived there, Scott Johnson lived there, Chico lived there, I lived there, a lot of people, Kelly Bird, we just all lived kind of around the Miracle Mile. I had noticed that those guys were always trying to get me into it back then, right? Because they were all starting to play or had been playing. Some of them, Rudy's the first guy that was playing golf.
Rudy.
Yeah, but
Eric.
that's before. And then everyone on campus started getting clubs and getting real serious and spending way too much money. And I was so into skating, I was like, I don't want to play golf, man.
Same.
I was like, I go, how about I do that when I'm older, dude? Cool, we can go to a municipal and, you know, I can meet the guy from Kingswell at Los Feliz. I can meet, when there was this course by my house, it was like, everybody's over there. Los Feliz, everybody, no, the Roosevelt, everyone's always over there. So it's kind of easy to, it's like you want to go talk to your friends for about an hour and a half. Like that's what it is to me, you know.
Similarities, though.
In which way?
Just because of the fact that it's all about you, right? Nobody else is like, you don't need no fucking team. It's you and the ball. So like you gotta constantly, it's like repetition. Same thing with skating. It's like you're constantly trying to kickflip and get it right. You know what I mean? So for me, I feel that there is similarities. Obviously, with skating, you're using your legs and it's obviously a different approach. But from the mental aspect of like the repetition, it's definitely has something in common for me.
Okay, so Jerron brought some very valid points, right, on how skateboarding and golfing are very similar, and I can buy into that, right? I don't golf. Like I said, I don't golf. I've never gotten into it. A lot of my friends golf. I know a lot of folks at work that golf. It's not my thing. I don't know. Maybe once I try it, or if I try it, I would get into it. I know my wife has brought it up a couple years ago. Hey, let's get into golfing. And we just never did. It's a very expensive sport, right? But what isn't nowadays, right? So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll take it up. I don't know. But without further ado, I want to talk about some of the other things that came out of this collaboration, right? So I mentioned earlier there was hats, socks, shorts, golf jerseys, t-shirts, right? There's all kinds of stuff, right? But the biggest piece out of that was this guy right here. And I'm going to open this thing up here, and let's see what this is for a second. Actually, hang on a second. I'm going to start my above camera here, so you're going to see my torso up here for a little bit. So hang on just a second. I think you can probably see me. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so it'll fix itself here in a bit. I think I got that. Okay, I think I got that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go. So here's this. Of course, I got to make a reel, right? I got to do something for the gram. All right. So let's open this box up here, and let's see what we got inside. I know what it is. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it as well. Probably not the smartest thing to cut up. You see that? Almost got me in the face. My wife will see it, and I'll get chastised for it later. But here we go. So this came from the NHS, right? And those guys are, the thing about Santa Cruz and NHS is they're doing all kinds of great collaborations, and just they do a lot of great things with their reissues, right? So here we go, right? Like I said, if you've seen the collaborator, you know what the deck looks like. If you haven't, you'll be in for a pleasant surprise. One of the things I like about Santa Cruz when you order from NHS is, yeah, they're in there. And again, I'm a sucker for marketing. They always throw in free stickers, right? Free stickers. So I love stickers. I collect stickers. Everywhere I go, I buy stickers, and I just buy them to keep them, right? So here is the board tape. Put this tape off here. There we go. It is the classic slasher graphic, originally designed by Jim Phillips. For the redesign, one of the questions I asked Paul over at NHS was, who was the artist? That's my biggest question with these new reissues now, is who does the art, right? This was actually done by Jimbo Phillips, right? So he took the lead on the t-shirts, the hats, the golf attire, the logos and things like that. So he took the lead with it on there, and it's actually very cool, right? So you, of course, they're just like all the little changes they have with the slasher graphics. He's got a golf hat on. He's got some golf shoes on, some golf spikes. Instead of a skateboard, he's on a golf bag full of golf clubs. And he's got the tee and the golf balls kind of just flying off from the back of the bag. Very cool. Again, you've got the Santa Cruz logo at the bottom, Malbon, and you've got the Keith Meek on there, right? So that's actually very cool. They actually paid the true homage to the original slasher himself, Keith Meek, and there it is. And on the top, you got the Santa Cruz, Keith Meek, Malbon. Very cool. Very, very cool graphic. I like what Santa Cruz does with their reissues, because they don't just reissue the graphic. They make small tweaks, and it's not just to this one. If you look at the Nodus that got released not too long ago, right there, it's essentially the same graphic with some minor tweaks to it. Go back to Santa Cruz's Instagram, and there's a nice little video out that they put out with Nodus where they talk about the graphic and the changes that came to it. So it's actually pretty cool. I'm going to do a review on that one as well when we get time. But very cool deck. Another always Santa Cruz sticker in there. This was very limited. I think after about a week, maybe a week and a half, it was gone. Right. The thing about these special collaborations they have on Santa Cruz and NHS, they go very, very fast. So if you don't get them right away, you're going to miss out. I haven't seen this on eBay because I'm always looking for stuff. I always go to eBay and I look at stuff. I haven't seen this pop up on there yet. The Godzilla stuff, when the Godzillas came out, the very giant board they had with that, the Shin Godzilla board that was only available at Godzilla.com. Those eventually started popping up later, not right away, but they're there. So I imagine this is going to come out as well. But very clean, very classic graphic. I like the redo of it. And if you have the time, if you have the means, if you're able to fit in the sizes of these things, go to Malbon.com, see if you can score any of the Santa Cruz collaboration stuff. They had a towel that I really wanted to get, and by the time I really got around to it, it was gone. That was probably one of the first things that left, or actually they got sold out when they got there, when they did the initial release. But actually a very cool graphic, very cool deck, and I like the recreation of the slasher. It's very cool, very cool. If you golf, if you skate, if you like lifestyle brands, if you just like their gear, hit me up in the comments. Say something, right? Let's talk about it. And let's see if we can get to the bottom of the stuff. If you're a skater / golfer, comment in there. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. If they're similar, if they're not similar. If you picked up golfing after the fact, if you picked up skateboarding after the fact, whatever, right? Just comment in there and let's get a discussion going. Guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you again next week. Thanks for watching the session.